Wellspring Niagara receives no government funding for its cancer support programs. That's why its upcoming Diamonds Are Forever Gala is such an important event. And Mantini-Celima, November 18th is the date on this. Diamonds Are Forever. Expand on that
Well,
theme.
it is still our Starry Night Charity Gala.
Okay.
And so the theme this year is Diamonds Are Forever. And that kind of came from the concept of, well, just a sparkling night and kind of a classy.
When I hear Diamonds Are Forever, I think of James Bond.
I know. Well,
Am I supposed to dress like a spy?
Well, you know what? Well, you could. It's a black tie. It's a black tie event. It's a formal event, and it's a vintage supper club. So kind of like the Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay.
James Bond was in Vegas, right? So
Yes.
kind of that feel of like, kind of classy, kind of, evening of great food and entertainment and just, we don't, that old supper club that we just don't have anymore.
So I can pretend I'm Dean Martin? And
Totally, yeah, or pretend, yeah. That whole, just that vibe of that era, right? It had that sense of class that we don't see anymore, but so the Diamonds Are Forever kind of came from that. It just has that kind of sparkly kind of class. And so we're presenting a vintage supper club and bringing that to Niagara.
So take me through the evening when people arrive. What happens?
White Oaks really presents a beautiful venue for us. And I mean, what they're known for, like their service and the food, and it really fits in with kind of that supper club vibe. So the lobby will be kind of a nice little feel of being welcomed. And then the meet room will be set up. The tables will be set, candlelight tables, and there'll be a band on stage. You'll hear when you walk in, there'll be some of the band members will be playing, and there'll be a lovely torch singer singing. And
beautiful.
So some nice background music, and then again be entertained throughout the evening. So music through dinner, and that's kind of the vibe that we want to create, that sense of that just that evening of get dressed up, go out for supper, and have a nice evening of entertainment.
I have to ask you, will the Mantini sisters be taking the stage perhaps at all through the evening?
Well, there may be a visit of them from the Mantini sisters, but we'll probably do a couple of numbers. And the band led by Mark Camilleri. Mark Camilleri is actually our music director, who from Toronto. We've worked with Mark since he was 19. But Mark is has become one of the most one of the best music directors in Canada. He plays with everybody, and he's the music director for the Tenors.
Right.
He also does all of the big shows in Toronto, the Mervis productions and the big theater productions. And so when I asked Mark if he'd put together a band for us and a show and bring guest artists. So we're going to have some incredible musical talent, Canadian artists that have done shows throughout Canada, but also on Broadway. And so it's going to be a really nice night of really great entertainment. And that's what we want to bring, kind of that sense of vibe. And Mark alone, I mean, he's just so incredible as a musician. So it's going to be, really high caliber musicianship that night.
Let's go back to what I said off the top. No funding from the government.
No.
So this is a really important fundraiser.
Yes. All of our fundraisers at Wellspring is important because we don't, as you mentioned, we don't get any government.
Why is that the case? Does the government look at this as, I don't know, is it icing on the cake for cancer treatment?
No, and in fact, if anything, they're recognizing it ever since COVID. We've become a very important resource.
And that's the way I see it too.
Yeah, and we're growing and working with like Walker Family Cancer Center and Juravinsky. I mean, that's where a lot of our, you don't need a referral to come, but it's happening, and they benefit from having us provide those resources to their patients because their focus is on the treatment side. But I don't know why that's always been kind of mandated. I don't ever see it kind of being supported because it hasn't been, and there's so many community-based organizations. There are other Wellspring centers in other communities and other organizations like Wellwood in Hamilton and Cancer Assist in Hamilton and Hope Spring in Kitchener, providing those services and meeting a need. And
there's a lot of need for it.
There's huge need.
Your programs are very, very well attended.
We are seeing, since COVID, over a 50% increase in new member registrations since pre-COVID.
And these are programs not just for people with cancer, but for the family
and
who
caregivers.
is supporting
Yes.
them.
Yes, for the family and for the caregivers. We see men, women, and children. So all different types of cancer, all different stages of cancer. And our mandate is to help people live better with cancer. There's still that uncertainty of what Wellspring provides. You know, we're not a hospice, so we're not. A lot of people think that we are. We're not,
Right.
but we're a beautiful bridge to hospice care, and we work well with the hospice programs in the community and palliative care programs. But we see people from the time of diagnosis into treatment, post-treatment recovery.
The cancer exercise program is one of, I guess, your pet projects, one of your favorites.
Well, it's one of our most popular programs and one of our most costly programs. You have to think it's free. All of our programs are free to anybody who comes, and they're led by professionals. And that's where our money goes. When we raise the money, we hire professionals on a fee-for-service basis to lead the programs, programs that have been tested and evaluated and very well respected. So we provide training for the leaders, and the members are getting high quality care. So Cancer Exercise is a program that provides an individualized exercise program for a patient who has either is in treatment or completed treatment or had surgery, and they want to build their strength, stamina. They want to build maybe balance or whatever their issues are. That's why it's an individualized program. They go through an assessment, and they're seen, they get to come twice a week for 20 weeks.
And it's so important because cancer treatments can take so much out of a person's will to move.
A will to move, but also they can't. They don't have the strength.
Right.
You know, we've had stories, and we've seen it, and testimonials, and we're going to talk about it at our gala about a member who could not get up and out of a bathtub or out of a couch because she just couldn't do it. And the program allowed her to build that strength. She didn't need her cane anymore. She didn't need her walker. She could get back and do her gardening. She can get back and get back into life. We see that over and over and over again. And because everyone's experience is unique, that's why each program is individualized. But we are seeing such a huge increase, and so the capacity for that program is high.
And
so
this fundraiser will raise some funds for that program and others. How can people get tickets?
Well,
November
they can
18th? call
Wellspring, or they can go on our website at wellspringniagara.ca or call our center at 905-684-7619. There are limited tickets, so we don't pack the place in. We like it to be it's a more intimate affair. And year over year, we get the same patrons that do come, so it is limited tickets, and we're looking forward to another year of a success and raising a lot of money and awareness for Wellspring.
Again, November 18th at White Oaks, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mike.